they think about you. Here's what 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 they think about. Here's what they think. Here's what they think about. Here's what they think about. Here's what they think about. Here's what they think about.
Welcome back to another episode of Lakeshow's finest Redux. Second round playoffs. Here we come. Haven't been in the second round in about 10, 11 years since 2012 when the Lakers lost to the Thunder in the second round. This was kind of a strange game. The pacing was weird. The rhythm was weird. The Lakers' defense, wasn't very good. Probably the worst defense in the whole entire series. But understandable after the 4 or 5 game layoff, It's been about 6 days since Kobe Day, since they last played. And it felt like it's been a year. Such a long week this week. And I'm glad the players got what they wanted. And we can move forward and finish this season that has gone on for so long. Preseason was in August. August 30th might have been the first preseason game last year. And then we had some early September preseason games. So let's wrap it up. Let's get this championship. I'm really feeling it. A lot of teams are down. A lot of teams missing players. We can win this. I saw the Rockets Thunder game yesterday, and Russell Westbrook only had 7 points and missed like 11 shots. So if we can play some defense on him, that would be great. And I think we will play the Rockets, and that, hence the title of the podcast, Ignition. We are igniting. I'm Charles Ryan, KB24 status, or yours truly, the biggest Lakers fan in the world. I've been here since, a few years, been doing this. Been doing the blog for 7, 8 years. And I love it. And you should love that win last night. Not a lot of defense. It's really tough to win a game when you allow 68 points in the first half. And the Lakers are very fortunate that their shots were dropping tonight. They did make 14 threes. And I was worried after a long layoff that maybe they wouldn't be in rhythm for those threes. And you know who was in rhythm for those threes? LeBron James, Anthony Davis, and Kentavious Caldwell Pope, KCP. The lineups were interesting. Of course, Rondo was out again, and Dion Waiters had a migraine. I think really what it was is he took another edible, but that would have mattered anyways because he didn't play Dion at all the last few games, really. And they won by 9 points. I think the Lakers never really... they had control of the game the whole way, I would say. There was never a moment in the game where I thought, they could lose this. And, of course, the Blazers were heavy underdogs in this game. But I kept thinking, the only way the Blazers will win this is if Carmelo Anthony drops 40 points and CJ drops 40 points. That was pretty close to happening. CJ had 36 points. Melo had 27. Melo shot great from the field. He was 9 for 16. A little bit of flashback Melo there. He had 5 turnovers. He had 5 fouls. Some of his fouls were so stupid, and they were hilarious. But, I give a lot of credit to Melo this game. He played 40 minutes, and for a guy that's, 36 years old, cannot be more impressed by his effort this game. Nurkic played 37 minutes again. He looked exhausted. But that was the only way I thought that they could win. Because we all know Blazers ain't playing any defense. They're not guarding anybody. Wide open threes, wide open shots once again. We dropped 131 on them. So I am proud. May not have been the prettiest closeout game, but I'm proud that they closed it out. Closeout games are tough. And we're lucky that it was a closeout game against a team that is really, really struggling to have bodies on the floor. And we took advantage of that. So I'm going to talk about a few other thoughts, a few other things during this game. I'll get to the stats. And then maybe just a brief Rockets-Lakers preview. I know it's kind of premature to say the Rockets, but after that game yesterday where the Rockets won by 40 points or whatever it was, I'm kind of have a feeling it's going to be the Rockets. So, one of the most interesting things I noticed this game was the closing lineup. And I don't think this closing lineup has really been like this. The closing 5 prior to, them being subbed out with 2 minutes left was LeBron, Anthony Davis, Kyle Kuzma, Caruso, and Danny Green. Usually, Caruso isn't really in the closing lineup that much. Usually it's KCP or something. But they really did their job. I liked that lineup. I thought it was kind of funny seeing LeBron just give it up to Caruso in the half court when there's 3 minutes left in the game and it's actually tight. I kind of respected that because usually LeBron would just take control fully in the game. But maybe he'll stick with this lineup. Who knows? Or maybe he'll have Rondo instead of Caruso. So, like I said, the defense wasn't great, but their crunch time defense was fantastic. Fantastic. The rhythm wasn't the best, like I said, but it really showed that the chemistry between LeBron and AD has slowly developed this playoff chemistry throughout the series, and both players just kicked ass. Triple-double for LeBron, 40-plus points for AD, and there really wasn't a lot of focus in the beginning, but they got the crunch time, they buckled down, and they executed. Also, what's kind of a thought that a lot of Laker fans might have is, who is the Lakers' third best player? And a lot of people go to Kuzma. But this series, I would say it was KCP. KCP did not have a great game 1. He played pretty poorly in game 1. He missed it was 1 for 13 or something. I can find those stats later. But tonight, KCP had 14 points. He was 4 for 9 from 3. 5 for 12 from the field. But he had 5 assists and 3 steals. That's going to get the job done. He only played 20 minutes. Usually he plays more than that. But I thought he played really well tonight. So, good job by him. You could argue Kuzma series, but very inconsistent field goal percentage, field goal game. He missed 9 shots tonight. He was 3 for 12, 8 points. Did not make a single 3. His 3-point percentage in this series has been pretty poor. He missed 2 free throws also. He was 2 for 4. He probably missed the most free throws of anybody on the team tonight, besides AD, who missed 2, but he shot 13. But Kuzma did have this great shot that I might actually upload in the video. I'm not sure. He had a really nice baseline turnaround jumper. Might have been on Gary Trent. And that shot was very reminiscent of Kobe. And Kuzma, he kind of wears his jersey outside his he doesn't tuck it in, and then Kobe would never do that. So when that happened, I was like, oh yeah, he's pulling a Kobe. Kuzma will sometimes bite his jersey on the neckline, and that's very Kobe-esque too. So I like that. So the takeaways from the series is LeBron and AD, they got that rhythm going. They can play defense. They turned the switch around. They had the worst offense throughout the bubble. Now it's top 5. Last time there were two players had 30-plus points in a playoff game for the Lakers. It was Kobe and Powell. And that's 2012, 2011. And this is the first 40-point playoff game for a Laker. AD had 40-plus points since Kobe. And besides Kobe, it is Shaq in the early 2000s. But AD and LeBron, you really couldn't ask for a much better game. They completely dominated. LeBron had 36 points. 4 for 7 from 3. 4 for 4 from the free throw line. 10 rebounds, 10 assists, 1 steal, 1 block. He did have 5 turnovers, though. In 33 minutes, AD played 36 minutes. Kicked ass in the third quarter. I think he had 18 points in the third quarter. 43 points. 14 for 18 from the field. 4 for 6 from 3. 11 for 13 from the free throw line. 9 rebounds, 4 assists, 1 steal, and only 1 turnover. It's funny how LeBron and their stat lines are very similar. LeBron only took 1 more shot than AD, and they both have the same amount of field goals made. LeBron shot 74% from the field. AD shot 78% from the field. It's been, I think, the last time that 2 players in a playoff series had over 30 points and shot over 70% from the field was since the early, since Kenny Smith era, 80s, 90s. That's how long it's been. No defense by the Blazers. They let them do anything you wanted. There were so many fast break, open dunks and layups, and some of them we missed. But these stat lines, 4 for 7 from the 3, 4 for 6 from 3 for Anthony Davis. AD did miss 2 free throws, but it's okay. We'll let it slide. As a team, we only missed 5 free throws. So not terrible. JaVale did not have one of his better games tonight, unfortunately. Only 2 points, 2 rebounds, 1 assist, and 1 turnover. Need a little bit more from JaVale. Hopefully he can be more consistent next series. And then Danny Green, who did not play well tonight. He tends to not be playing well for some reason. He only made 1 3. 31 minutes for Danny Green, 5 points, 2 for 8 from the field, 1 for 6 from the 3-point line. 3 assists, 1 steal, 2 blocks for Danny Green. That's unexpected. The whole starting lineup had a positive plus-minus. LeBron 20, AD 15. KCP, like I said, probably the third best player in the series. 28 minutes, 14 points, 5 for 12 from the field, 4 for 9 from 3, for 44% from the 3-point line, 5 assists, 3 steals. Caruso, 7 points. Did not make a single 3. He was 0 for 2. Caruso needs to work on his threes. They're always wide open usually, and LeBron always finds him. But I don't know what happened to him. He used to be knocking down those threes, especially last year. Or actually 2 years ago. No, it was last year when LeBron was hurt, and it was the whole Caruso. Yeah, he's got to get back to that. But 3 rebounds for Caruso, 2 assists, 4 steals for Caruso. He was really active defensively. Remember that one play? He knocked it off an inbounds pass, a Blazers inbound pass, got the ball back, and then he sprinted back into play and got a steal. It was a very crazy sequence. I'm sure you guys know what I'm talking about. If not, I'm sorry. But he had 4 steals, and he had 1 block. And Kuzma, not the best outing. 8 points, 3 for 12, over 4 from 3, 2 for 4 from the line, 3 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 steal, 1 block, and 5 fouls. And the guy who has been completely irrelevant, don't know why he plays. I'm sure you know who I'm talking about. J.R. Smith, 6 minutes, 0 points, 0 rebounds, 0 assists, 1 turnover. Plus minus of 1. Markieff Morris, 16 minutes, 5 points, 6 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 turnover, and then last but not least, Mr. Offensive Rebound. He had 4 of them, most on the team. Dwight Howard, 19 minutes, 11 points, 6 rebounds, 1 turnover, and he was 1 for 1 from the free throw line. Dwight Howard went 100% from the line. Woo! Alright, so final score 131-122. The game was tied 12 times. The longest run was 13 by the Lakers. There was 9 lead changes. The biggest lead was 15 for the Lakers, 8 for the Blazers. We never trailed in the second half. The game was tied at halftime, 68-68, I believe. Yeah, 68-68. And they never looked back. Never. The game was tied in the second half, but never were down. So 43 total rebounds for the Blazers, 41 for the Lakers, 20 assists for the Blazers, 27 for the Lakers, 12 steals for the Blazers, 11 for the Lakers, 1 block for the Blazers, 5 blocks for the Lakers. Lakers had 17 turnovers. Got to work on that. While the Blazers had 19. Overall field goal percentage, this is where I love it so much. 55% from the field. If we can have 55% from the field consistently, we will sweep every game the rest of the playoffs. No questions asked. Blazers, 47% from the field. Lakers, like I said, are 55%. They were 48 for 88 from the field. 14 for 36 from 3 for the Lakers for 39%. 21 for 26 from the line for 80%. The Blazers were also 21 for 26. And the Blazers were unconscious from 3. They did not miss in the first half. They made 10 threes in the first half, then only made 3 in the second. 13 for 27 from the 3-point line for 48%. Now, here comes the stats of the Portland Trail Blazers, who are going to be sent home and probably won't be playing basketball for several months because who knows when the next season will start. Carmelo Anthony, 27 points. 9 for 16 from the field. 7 rebounds, 1 assist. 5 turnovers for -10 plus minus. Nurkic, 37 minutes, 16 points, 10 rebounds, 6 assists, 5 steals. 5 steals from Nurkic. That kind of stands out. 1 block. Hassan Whiteside, 2 points. He broke his finger. Oh my goodness, when Hassan Whiteside broke his pinky finger in that first half, I was a little bit squeamish there. 2 points for Hassan, 7 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 turnover, and 5 fouls. And the guy who is the backbone of the franchise literally broke that backbone. 46 minutes, 36 points, 13 for 25 field goal attempts for C.J. McCollum, 3 for 7 from 3, 7 for 8 from the free throw line, 6 rebounds, 7 assists, 1 steal, and 6 turnovers for the worst plus minus. Actually, second worst, minus 15. Gary Trent Jr., probably the most overrated player in the league. 39 minutes, 16 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 turnovers, 2 steals. And Anthony Simons, the guy who looks like he can be attending a bar mitzvah right now. 27 minutes, 13 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 turnovers, 4 steals. Mario Hezonja, the worst player in the league, 4 points, 2 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 turnover in 10 minutes. And then they play this guy named Jalen Horde, who I think they play like once in the series. 20 minutes, 1 minute. Sorry. 20 minutes for Jalen Horde, 6 points, 2 rebounds. And for some reason, they didn't play Wenyen Gabriel. I don't know why Terry Stotts didn't do that. He started Wenyen Gabriel in like the first 2 games. I know he's terrible, but that's kind of strange. So farewell to the Blazers. They were a good opponent. I wish them the best. Hopefully Damian Lillard gets better, but injuries is part of the game. Hopefully the Lakers play the Rockets. I think that would be... Well, actually, I wanted to play the Thunder, but I think it would be a fun matchup versus the Rockets. The Lakers lost to the Rockets. They lost 2 of the 3 games they played them, and that's including the game in the bubble. I don't know if that even matters, because I think in the first game, the Rockets had, oh my God, they had the big center guy who used to be there. I'll remember his name soon, but they traded for Covington, and they lost those 2 games. So, I think Lakers should win this series. I'm a little bit worried about just not boxing out on long threes, not closing out on long threes. The Rockets are going to get theirs, and the Lakers need to make it tough for them to shoot those threes. No 4-point plays for James Harden, but I think overall, the Lakers will win this in about 6, maybe 5 or 6, leaning towards 6. But if they can do this, if they can win this game, I'm really confident that that'll give great momentum versus the Clippers, because that seems like who they will play. Lakers have better chemistry than the Clippers. The Clippers kind of seem like they're like hired guns and they're not really like working together as a team. Lakers have a really good chemistry and they're together. You can really tell that. They genuinely, I'm sorry guys, like each other. And I've heard that from players in their own podcasts and other podcasts, so I'm glad that that's there. All right. So there was my 1-minute preview of the Rockets. I'll talk about them more later. I just want to give you a brief layover. If Russell Westbrook plays as terribly as he did last night, I don't think there's anything to worry about. Maybe a sweep. All right. So thanks a lot for listening, guys. I really appreciate it. Sorry about the hiatus. Couldn't really do anything about it, but I'm back with this episode. Please, please, please check out my other videos. I really work hard on those. I'm not talking about the podcast. I'm talking about montages of Kobe, and there's Kobe clips and other cool montage stuff I really worked hard on. All right, take care, and go Lakers.